They carried him up alive, and heaven was never the same. He was given 365,000 eyes, 72 wings, and a crown no angel had ever worn. Then the rabbis declared the whole thing heresy and tried to bury it forever. The man at the center of all of this was named Enoch. He appears in Genesis in just 5 verses, then vanishes entirely.
Genesis says only this: God took him, and he was not. For ancient Jewish readers, those 2 words were an open wound. Taken where? By whom? What happened after? Centuries of imagination rushed into that silence and produced something extraordinary. A text called 3rd Enoch gave him a complete second life in heaven.
The book's narrator is a rabbi named Ishmael, ascending to study the divine halls. At the gates of the 7th heaven, an angel meets him. That angel is Metatron, and the angel was once human. 3rd Enoch describes the transformation in precise, almost clinical detail. First, Enoch's flesh is expanded, his body stretched to cosmic size. He becomes as tall as the world itself, filling the space between earth and throne. Then come the wings, 72 of them, enough to cover the sky. The eyes come next, 365,000 eyes covering every inch of his body. 365,000 eyes that see all times and all places at once. A robe of light is then wrapped around him, sewn from the glory of the throne. Then God sets a crown on his head that makes the angels fall to their faces. Then God gives him a name no created being had ever received. The name is YHWH HaQatan, the Lesser YHWH, not an angel's name, the name of God itself applied to a man. A throne of his own is placed beside the throne of God. He is granted dominion over all the princes and powers of heaven. When Rabbi Ishmael encounters Metatron, he falls stunned before him. Metatron reveals the full architecture of heaven, every hall, every court, every fire. He commands armies of angels numbered in the million. He holds the cosmic scales that weigh the merit of every soul born on earth. He records every human deed in the celestial books before God's throne, and then something goes terribly wrong in heaven because of him. A heavenly visitor named Acre sees Metatron seated beside God and draws the wrong conclusion. Acre declares out loud, "There must be 2 powers in heaven." 5 words, and the entire order of heaven convulses. God immediately commands that Metatron be struck with 60 lashes of fire. The standing throne is removed, forcing Metatron back into servant posture. The text is performing a theological tightrope walk. It cannot quite survive. Rabbis of the Talmudic period saw a figure beside God and called it the Great Danger. The heresy label was a fence built to stop further speculation from escaping. But the text survived, copied, hidden, passed across centuries by those who kept it. Medieval Kabbalists read it and built entire cosmologies from Metatron's description. His 365,000 eyes became a metaphor for divine omniscience without boundary. His wings became a model for angelic hierarchy that shaped art for 1,000 years. His throne beside God's became the central anxiety of monotheism for 2 millennia. Early Christians saw a divine second figure beside the Father and called him the Son. The shape of that problem, who sits beside God, never stopped being asked. Enoch walked with God and was taken, and what was taken came back transformed beyond recognition. What 3rd Enoch dared to imagine was a human being completing the divine court. A man taken up, made into God's closest mirror, and the world has been arguing about it since. A man walked into heaven and came back as something that broke the rules of what God was allowed to be, and the rabbis, the Kabbalists, the early Christians, and theologians for 2,000 years never stopped fighting over what that meant. Subscribe to History Retold for the ancient texts history class was too afraid to open.